Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be learning how to make the cowl neck. But before we make the cowl neck, to make the cowl neck we're going to have to use our pattern, okay, our bodice pattern. So I have this pattern paper here. I'm going to draw my pattern, the front and the back pattern. First things first, we're going to be marking a starting point for our shoulder line. That marks our shoulder line. So I'm just going to take here. Okay, this marks my shoulder line. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to come down and mark out my bust line. My bust line is 11. Then my waistline is 18. Then the length of the blouse, the cowl neck blouse, is going to be 25. Okay, so just come here. So we'll have accurate measurement. Mark it here. Then I'll draw my lines. Okay, so this one now is my half length. This is the blouse length, and this is the bust point. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing now is I'm going to take my chest line. My chest line is 8.5. okay, so I'm going to mark it here, and I'm going to rule my chest line. The next thing I'm going to do now is take my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 16, so I'm marking it here. The next thing I'm going to do is connect it down to my chest line here. So we'll write this chest line. Okay, that's going to be my chest line. Then I'm going to take my measurements. My bust point is 42. My bust, round bust, is 42. 42 divided by 4, that's 10.5. 10.5. Then I put an extra 2 inches allowance, okay, for cutting sewing. Then my half length is 36, sorry. Then that is 9. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Put an extra 2 inches, okay. Then my blouse length, the circumference is 43. 43 divided by 4 is 10.5. Then I put another 2 inches sewing allowance. Okay, so I come over here, join all the points. Okay, so I'm going to join this one directly to the chest line, and the allowance to directly to the chest line. So at this my measurement here, what I'm just going to do is I'll come up here at this corner here by 1 inch. Okay, then I'm going to join. You can use your curved ruler or you can use your free hand. Okay, you're basically just going to join it to this part here. So I'm going to use my curved ruler. Okay, so at my neckline here, I'm going to use a width. My neckline is going to be a width of 4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark out 4 inches. Then I'm also going to have a depth of 1.5 inches or 2 inches. I really don't need this much. It's just to show the measurement for it, so that when we're cutting the back, it will be easy to cut. There we go. Then also you slant your shoulder. Slant our shoulder at mark 8 here. I come down by 1 inch and I slant my shoulder, connecting it to my 3 inches. This will help you give a good fit and it will relax. So okay, so this is the bodice, the front part. This is the front part of the bodice. So I'm going to cut it out to be able to cut the back. So now I'm going to bring in my my paper for the back. First things first, we're going to get our allowance. We're going to mark out our allowance, zipper allowance. If you want to put a zipper, if the fabric is not stretchy, okay, if the fabric is stretchy, you don't really need zipper allowance, but if it's not stretchy, you need to put a zip. So let's put a zip. We're going to put zipper allowance of 1 inch, okay. Okay, so I'll just write it here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is you take this paper now, the front part, okay, and place the front part on the back part after the zipper allowance, okay. And basically we're just going to cut. You can notch your half length. These are just markings for us to know, okay, where the bust point, okay. And this is where the neckline starts from and where it ends. The reason why we're not putting the front, normally the front neckline is normally deeper, goes lower. That's the depth of it. It goes lower than the back. But because basically you will see that we don't really need this measurement for the front line. For the front, we don't need the depth for the front bodice. We only need the length of how wide the neckline is going to be. So when we get there, I'll show you, but we're going to use it for the back. We're going to use to cut out the back. So basically the back is going to be 4 inches. It's going to be 4 inches. The length of the neckline is 4 inches and the depth is 1.5 inches, or you could do 1 inch, okay. 1.5 is okay also. So next thing I'm going to do now, you can trace it out or cut it as it is. So I'm going to be cutting mine, and I'll cut the front together, the neckline together with the back. The next thing we're going to do now is that we're going to take our front. I'm going to take my front pattern, okay. What I'm going to do to my front pattern is that at the chest line here, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. Why am I coming up by 1 inch? From my shoulder to my chest line is 8.5 inches, okay. But 8.5 inches, if I do a cowl neck of 8.5 inches, that means that my cleavage will show a lot, okay. I don't want my cleavage to really show that much. So what you can do, if you don't want it to show that much, you can do it lower, maybe 7 inches. It depends. The preference depends on you. It all depends on you. I don't really want my cleavage to show much. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to come up by 1 inch. That means that this is where the last fold of the cowl is going to stay. It's going to stay right here where the 7.5 inches rest, okay. Then the rest of it is going to be falling down like this. I hope you understand it. So you're just going to come up by 1 inch here, okay, from the chest line. So as I said, okay, so I'm coming up 1 inch, okay, from my chest line. I'll come up 1 inch. I've marked it. Then I'm going to draw my line. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because of the method that I'm using. This is the slash and spread method, okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut just almost to the tail end, okay. Don't cut it off completely, just almost to the tail end, so that you'll be able to spread it like this. So the next thing now is to get the fabric that I'm going to be putting this, my front pattern and my back pattern on. Okay, so I've gotten my fabric. Okay, it's I've gotten my fabric now. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is that I'm going to be folding my fabric. I'm not going to fold it straight like this. Okay, I'm not going to fold it straight like this. Okay, these are the selvage. It won't be folded. It won't be folded straight like this. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it on a fold, unbiased. Cowl necks flow better when it's folded unbiased, but if you don't have enough fabric, you can fold it straight, but you get a better flow of it when it's folded unbiased. So now I'm just going to come and fold my fabric. Remember, I'm using just pieces of fabrics that I had. Okay, so let me see. As I folded it like this, you can see it's not straight. I folded it on a fold. So let's bring in our pattern paper. Let me bring in the pattern paper. Okay, so here is my pattern paper. Okay, the length is enough. Then I'm going to go up here, place it like this. I just want us all to see it very well. Okay, this is my pattern. I remember I said I didn't open it more than 8 inches. Okay, between here and this point here, my slash and spread method, I'm not using more than 8 inches because I don't want my cleavage to show. Okay, so this is it here. Okay, it all depends on what you want. This is mine here. Okay, the slash and spread method, if you see it here. Okay, so I didn't do more than 8 inches. You can do 7, you can do 10, it depends on. Then I just came, traced my armhole the same way it has been placed here. I just want to show you because it wasn't showing well when I went back to look at the video. Marked it here, came here. Okay, this is my neckline. This is my neckline that I'm tracing here. Then when you get to the end of the neckline, you just draw your line. Okay, you connect it all the way to the end of the fabric, the fold, and from there we can now cut out. I hope you can see it now because I checked the video, it wasn't showing. So now I'm going to cut it out now. So this is our front neckline. So this is the back part. This is the back part. So I'm going to cut it out now. So we're going to mark out our darts. I'm going to be marking out my darts here. My darts are going to be starting, I'm going to be starting my darts from my half length. Okay, this is tear about is my half length here. Okay, all the way to the bottom of the blouse. Okay, so our zipper allowance was 1 inch, so I'm going to be taking my 1 inch. I'll just mark it out. This is my zipper allowance. Then from my half length here, I'll go in by 4.5. 4.5 is my bust span. Okay, so I'm going to mark it there. But at that half length, I'm going to be going up by half length at the back. At the front, I'm going to go up by 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to be starting my darts from 17. Okay, then at this half length here, at this place here, I'm going to take ½ inch and ½ inch at the both sides. That means I'm going to be taking ½ inch on the half length coming up by 1 inch. I've marked it, my bust span 4.5. I'll take ½ inch by one side and I'll take the ½ inch by the other side too. Then I'm going to connect it all the way to the bottom. So how am I going to do that? You can just draw your bust span all the way to the bottom. Okay, all the way to the bottom. You're coming up by 1 inch. Okay, your ½ inch is here. Your ½ inch that you've taken is here. Okay, you mark it to this side. I come here also and I mark it to this side. I come here and mark it to the bottom of the blouse length, and I come here and I mark it to the bottom of the blouse length. So I have my darts formed here. It's going to pull in. Okay, it's going to pull in the back part. Some people, if you want your darts to go all the way to the top, it's good. You can start from 9 inches. Okay, you can start from 9 inches and form your darts all the way to the bottom. The preference all depends on you. If the person that you're making the dress for has a bit of excess body on, excess flesh on their back shoulders, on their shoulders, okay, the place we call back, that's this place around, you see that the fabric tends to pop up more. So you can take your darts from 9 inches down and take it all the way there. But I'm just going to take my darts from here, the front, the left back and the right back. Okay, so let's put that aside. Okay, so now I want to make a facing for the front part of my cowl neck, my blouse. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take fabric that's long enough, okay, and I'm going to place it on it and trace it out. Just make sure that it's about 8 to 10 inches long so that it will not show the cowl. Okay, so I'm going to take mine to 10 inches here. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it out. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to be doing now is that I'll take, this is the original, this is the main fabric, and this is the facing. So I'm going to take the facing now, okay, and I'll put it right side facing right side, right side facing right side, and sew it all the way down at all the corners here. Okay, then when I finish, I'll turn it over. When I turn it over, it will be like this, going to hide my dirty work. Okay, and you can, the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to get my darts. Okay, finished with that one. Next thing is to take the front part. Okay, the front part, remember I said right side facing right side, so this is the right side and this is the facing, this is the facing for the right side also. So you join it up to the shoulder part here. You leave the two shoulders like this alone. Don't join the shoulders. The shoulder part, okay. This is the shoulder part. Well, this is one shoulder here, and this is the other shoulder here. You can see our cowl has started forming. Okay, so quickly I'm going to go. I'll notch this place here. Then I'll go and iron it down. I'll notch it. You just keep on notching it all around so that it will relax. Next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn my front part the same way I showed you. Right side facing right side, right side facing right side. Okay, take the facing of the front side, turn it around to the back side. Okay, let the back side be enveloped. You can see the back side has this pink bias on it. Okay, then I'm going to sew it down. Make sure they are aligned and they fit snugly at that corner. And just notch the corner so that it won't bulge out when you are turning it over. There we go, very neatly done. Okay, we're going to do the second side soon. So the next thing now is that I'm sewing down the shoulder, the armhole facing. Okay, I'm just sewing it down. The facing that came from the front, I'm sewing it down on the sleeve part. Okay, on the armhole, you can see it here. This is the facing, this is the front facing. So what I did, I just sewed this side down now. Okay, and I sewed it down. So I've joined the shoulders. Okay, you can see the cowl neck is coming out, looking beautiful. So now I'm going to put the zip, knitting it up, weave it, put the zip, knitting it up, run bias around here. Okay, you know how to cut bias using fabric. You can use your fabric to do the bias of the sleeves, the two sleeves. I'm going to put my zip, knitting it, hem the bottom of it, and I'll wear it and come and show you. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share my video, please like it. It's going to help me. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye.